Well, hello and welcome, my Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your Twin Flame reading for February 2020, though timeless. Whenever you catch it is when you are supposed to see it. I am your reader, Mark Angelo Lyons Mal for short, president of Drawing the Circle Productions, professional witch, professional intuitive, and very honored to be serving you today. I was raised by a Cancerian. Yep, my mom's a Cancer. I call her Hera, not her given name. Why? Because she's a private person, hence a Cancerian. Yeah. If you are new to my channel, please do like and subscribe. I am getting closer and closer every day to 1,000 subscribers so I can monetize, so that I can do super live chat, and I have made a promise to my subscribers that once I get a little bit over there, you know, you want a little wiggle room, you understand me, my Cancerians, my crablets. Once I get a little over 1,000, I will do a little ditty called Drunk Tarot. I've made that promise to my subscribers for the first couple of months. We'll see how it goes, and there is a link in the description box below explaining what Drunk Tarot is. It is my favorite video that I made for 2019. For the hundreds that I did, that is my favorite one. I just had a field day doing it, and it cracks me up. So go have a look-see-dooksy. It might crack you up as well. And then you will definitely want to like and subscribe because of all the readers on YouTube. I'm the fun one. Dionysus archetype, what do you expect? That being said, let's get down to business here. This is a general read, so it's not going to fit for everybody all the time. Certain people, it seems on my channel, just I nail it every time, and that's great, but I'm reading for hundreds of thousands of people, potentially more than that, really. You take every Cancerian sun sign on planet Earth, then add the moon signs, the risings, and the Venus. It's a lot of people, right? So the best I can do is pull through archetypal themes. Using divination systems, as brilliant of an intuitive as I am, it's so different than when a client is sitting across the table from me or on a video chat, so I can tune into them individually and read them. I can read. You know, you don't want to read somebody for filth, but sometimes people need that, right? So please take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and check your other signs. That's why I do Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. So you can get pieces of information in other places. Like I said, I'm a Pisces moon. When I do get a reading on YouTube, you know, watching it from someone who don't know me, I usually am pulled towards the Pisces moon ones because those are easier for me to feel out. Just saying. Cool. You understand? You're Cancerian. We all have that water sign connection. Not all of us, obviously. So that being said, this is a twin flame reading, and my definition of twin flame is different than what's going on around the tube of you, if you have noticed. It gets conflated with soulmate an awful lot, and they're not the same things. They are both soul contracts, the soulmate contract and the twin flame contract, which is why I do them as two separate series of readings per month. What people really want is the soulmate contract. That's the satisfying one. But there are some myths about both contracts that need to be debunked, and that's why there are some, again, links in the description box below. One by me called Clarifying Twin Flames, Soulmates, and True Lovers. The other one, which inspired this redefinition for me, by Matt KAHN, spiritual teacher. Matt KAHN, All for Love, is the name of his YouTube channel, KAHN. He's a Hay House author, but he was doing these vids for much longer than he was, way before he was a Hay House author, and he did one called Soul Contracts, Twin Flames and Soulmates Redefined. Really, really good. Go check it out. Because a twin flame contract at its foundation is about two souls agreeing to teach each other how to love themselves and heal themselves, which means I'm not going to give you the love that you want. By contract, I can't. I can give it to other people, and that'll drive you up a fucking wall. But I can't give you the love that you want me to give you, but I can maybe give you the love that you need, which is sometimes tough love. It's tricky. They are tricky. They are turbulent. They are transformative, which is important because they teach you how to love yourself and how to heal yourself. Essential. And another myth about both twin flame and soulmate is that you only have one. If only. I've had more twin flame romantic relationships than anything else, though I think a soulmate or two has popped in here and there, and how you know is when you part ways with a soulmate. It's okay, right? It's sad, but it's not horrible. It's like you just grow in different directions, and it's okay. You let each other go, and it's just different than twin flames, which usually are burn the fucking house down, right? Hence the flames. So go check that out. That's what these readings are based on. And keep in mind that your twin flames ain't always romantic sexual. My father was a twin flame contract for me and me for him. I say it every reading. I might as well say it for you too. Like my mom and I are soulmates. We help each other heal. That's the foundation of the soulmate contract. My dad and I, bless his soul, God rest his soul. He died the summer between high school and college for me. But he was never going to give me the acceptance that I wanted, and I was never going to give him the son that he wanted because he wanted a Republican heterosexual Catholic. I'm a liberal gay male witch. So, yeah, it wasn't happening. My mom's pretty cool with it, though, considering. Let's just say I'm the youngest of 4. Does that make sense? Anyway, that being said, just do remember that in this contract, it's really a reading about a contract more than the people, but we're going to define the people with divine feminine and divine masculine using the Caroline Myss archetype cards to define that. All the cards that I'm reading are in the description box at the very bottom, but you get to look at all the other cool shit as you scroll down, because I put a lot of cool shit in my my description box. But keep in mind, divine feminine, divine masculine, not about bodily gender at all. It's about energetic dynamic. I consider myself a divine feminine, even though I am in a male body, a gay male. But, you know, I'm a Pisces moon and Virgo sun and professional intuitive and draw down the moon. It's divine feminine. I'm predominantly divine feminine, but we're all fluid in that. Cool, cool. So you're going to have to sense which side you are on. Although it is a twin flame reading, twins, you might identify with both sides. But keep in mind, this is about you learning how to heal and love and embrace and accept you, how to set your boundaries. Cool, cool. Just so that we're clear about that. Otherwise, there's so many other readers who were soulmate and twin flame are the same thing. And have fun with that if that's what you're feeling. Last thing, please remember to breathe. You're going to anyway. But if we can all breathe together consciously, we're all in the present moment, finding the still point of the now. Where this reading is coming from, right? That's the guidance, the grace, the prana, the chi. It's always in the present now. The divine is always here now. But we need to... We're always here now, but we need to bring our awareness here now. Just for that blip. I find the still point to be somewhere between the inhales and the exhales for me. It's different for everybody. Cool, cool. So let's do this, my Cancerians. Let's look at your twin flame read for February 2020, though timeless, whenever you're supposed to see it. Cool, cool. Nice deep breath. Here we go. Still point. My collective pantheons of angels. There you go, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Please, 2 cards, one for the divine masculine and one for the divine feminine in this Cancerian collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, twin flame contract for February 2020, though timeless. Please, one for the divine feminine and one for the divine masculine. Done. Keeping in mind that these are archetype cards, these represent the dominant archetypes and the dominant soul powers being developed in each individual. If this was a soulmate reading, which I use the same cards for that, you'd be helping each other heal and alchemize the lead to gold in twin flame. The relationship itself is teaching you how to do that for yourself. So let's see who our twin flamey couple is, shall we? We've got the divine feminine visionary, and the divine masculine exorcist. Now, it's not what you think. There's no pea soup involved in this card, at least what's written on it. But all of these cards have the shadow attribute on the bottom and the light attribute on the top, giving you parameters, a thumbnail sketch of the archetypal soul power dynamics that are to be healed, transformed, the shadow embraced, embracing the shadow work, all that kind of stuff. But I prefer the language of alchemy, lead to gold, alchemized from lead to gold. So let's start with the divine feminine, because ladies first, even though we're not talking about biological gender. The shadow attribute of the visionary archetype for this divine feminine, selling insights to the highest bidder, compromising your vision to make it more acceptable. Now, look, I am a visionary. I see things way before other people do, and that's always a challenge, right? You don't want to dumb it down, but you also don't want to sell it to the highest bidder necessarily if it's something that's for the good of humanity. So you can sell it to the highest bidder, and then they can hide it, right? Squash it, so to speak. You never know, giving up power of your vision that way to someone else. The light attribute, though, is what we are shooting for here. Capacity to envision what is not yet conceivable by others. Sign me up. My whole life. Willingness to proclaim a vision without regard for personal gain. And for some reason, and this has never happened before when this card has come up in a reading, but they're reminding me of Cassandra in the whole Trojan War dealio. She was a priestess of Apollo the god of vision and prophecy in this case, and therefore was a prophetess. But because she rebuffed him sexually, because she wanted to remain a virgin in service to him, he cursed her with what is now called the curse of Cassandra, that she would have perfect prophecy and vision, but that no one would believe her, or at least until it was too late. Read the myth. I have suffered from Cassandra complex here, there, and everywhere, but I think if I had that curse on me, I broke it somewhere along the line because I don't give a fuck. I tell you, once you hit 50. Yeah, I started doing this when I'm 12. I'm going to be 52 this year. What are you going to do, right? So, Divine Feminine, your visionary archetype. I'm feeling you. I don't have any planets in Cancer, but I can understand. I can feel that on a deeper intuitive level, keeping in mind the moon is in Pisces today, and I'm a Pisces moon, so I'm feeling everybody's everything. Why I'm not leaving the house. Thank you very much. Wards up. Let's tune ourselves then to the Divine Masculine Exorcist. Now, I know all sorts of images flashing through your mind. Let's just pull back from that for a minute and hear the words, right? The shadow attribute. Fear of facing your own demons. Now, let's clarify. If that were the only aspect of the shadow, everyone on planet Earth would have the Exorcist archetype in the shadow, because who wants to face their own demons? And yet, look at the time we're in, where it feels like the gods, the angels, the masters, what have you, have turned the heat up on the planet a little bit, and our stuff is bubbling to the surface to be cleared and cleaned. 1 second, please. Sorry about that. My oldest, Sebastian, my Cancerian, interestingly enough. Why did they do that? It's like Melchior screws around in the Taurus ones, but it's so good. Balthazar, my Leo, never gets uppity when the camera rolls. It's just so funny. He just decided to just start scratching on shit. It's like, knock it off. I'm working. Sorry. So as I was saying, you know, who wants to face their own demons, and yet look at the time we're in on the planet, keeping in mind that we did not have psychotherapy like 400 years ago, right? So whether they're psychological demons, spiritual demons, we're not really talking about the phantasmagorical fallen angel type of demon in that sense, like Dante's Inferno dealio. I think we're really talking about our own negative forces, which is looking at the light attribute, freeing yourself and others of destructive impulses. So, you know, someone can be a therapist and have the Exorcist archetype, right? They help people free themselves of it in a way like the Liberator with that word freeing, but the Exorcist is definitely a member of the divine family, where the visionary is the creative. There are 9 different families of archetypes. So it's an interesting combination, the visionary and the Exorcist, I have to say. Now, keeping in mind that there's nothing here so far that says romance. There are a couple of these archetype cards that speak almost specifically to romance. Thinking of the Knight and the Damsel just off the top of my head. So this may or may not be, but that's okay. We got a lot more cards to put on the table. There will be 14 in total by the time we're done, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to take a nice deep breath, and we're going to get 2 cards, both from the Chuck Spezzano Love Pack, one from the Suit of Problems, so that we get, well, what's the problem with this twin flame contract? Like, what's going on for, like, at least this month or when you're watching this? And then the other half of the deck is the Luck, the Healing, and the Grace decks, so all is one. So we'll get sort of like what you can do to help you heal this problem within yourself, at least, right? Because you can't help each other heal in a twin flame. That's the point, right? And boy, does it save time. Once you get that, you're like, oh, no matter how much I want this, I want to heal him or I want to heal her. Nope. It's not scripted that way. Someone else will. You heal you, right? And by the way, you can be married to somebody in a twin flame contract for your whole lives. Seriously, you can. It's just once you get the dynamics of it, it's like, oh, then I am going to learn how to love myself in that way. And the gods always have a way of getting you the love you need if you're open and ready for it, right? So nice deep breath. Let's get the problem here. From the Ascended Masters. Still point. My masters, please. One card in clarity for this Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign in this twin flame contract for February 2020. Please, oh please, oh please, oh please, oh please. Give us an indication, a clue, a tip, a hint here for this Cancerian collective. What's going on with this visionary and exorcist contract? What is the essential problem? We'll put that face down. And then what is the piece of healing, grace, or luck, my masters, for this Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign twin flame contract for February 2020. I'm still in January. Please, my masters. Switch. All right. Let's see what they're sending down the pike. Oh, well, deception. All right. So there's something not on the table here. There's something being hidden. What I think is really funny about this card is the guy is offering a bouquet with one hand, and behind his back, he's got a padlock. When is that ever the case? It's more like they got like flowers in one hand and a map out of town in the other one, right? Or somebody else in the wings, right? Somebody at home. Deception about who they truly are. One hand says Jekyll, the other says Hyde, right? Very Harvey Dent. Very, very Harvey Dent, that deception card. And you know what? It all comes from pain. Nobody deceives who's like having a good day, who's feeling happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise. We deceive because we think if people knew the truth, they would run from us. It's a control mechanism, and it is a problem, but it stems from self-worth and self-esteem every single time. Now, you don't have to like that. That's the way it is. And you don't have to take my word for it. Speak to a therapist. Ask them, why do people lie? Why do people deceive? And, you know, the acute answer is because they're deceiving themselves, which is also true. But that's really more of a psychotherapeutic issue, I find, particularly with a visionary and or an exorcist. These are issues that everybody deals with in terms of relationships and within themselves. Deception, right? Particularly emotional deception, since we're dealing with a water sign here, Cancerians, right? It's like, no, I'm not really feeling that. No, I'm fine. No, everything's great. Meanwhile, it's like, clickety, click, 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 click. Cancerians. So what's the piece of luck, healing, or grace for you? Well, it is a grace card, and the card is joy. So here's the beauty about joy. Joy is your natural state. Doesn't feel that way, at least not on Long Island 24/7, and nor was it ever meant to be 24/7, unless you're living in a monastery in prayer or, you know, a temple somewhere. Your natural state of being, meaning underneath all of the conditioning and programming and layers upon layers of identity and false identity and, you know, ego and all that stuff. At the core, there's this shining jewel in the heart chakra, anahata, Sanskrit. It means unstuck, right? You don't want your heart to get stuck, like physically, emotionally, in any way, shape, or form. You want it to flow, right? You want things to be unstuck, right? To keep moving. At its core is this radiant light called joy, twin to true love, if you will, the truth of who we are. So there's something here about no matter what the means of deception is, particularly with the card of the Exorcist here on the table and the card of Visionary, both of you, whether you are the Divine Masculine or the Divine Feminine, have the ability to connect with the essential joy of who you really are, right? And see this as, oh, I am being taught something here. This is happening for me, and I don't have to like it. And I don't have to enjoy that I am being deceived. Oh, no, no, no. I can out and out fucking hate that I'm being deceived or being deceptive. We've all done it. It usually incurs a feeling of guilt, just saying. But that guilt that deception is usually hiding a deeper pain and fear. So to be gentle with yourself and know that it will not truly touch the joy at your core any more than an overcast, cloudy day like today blots out the sun. It doesn't blot out the sun. The sun is still there. It may cover it up. It may obscure it. But it feels like almost what's at the healing of this for you is a sense of eternal joy that no deception can keep from you unless you choose it to, because that's the choice we have. So, I think that calls for a sip of coffee. I made 8 cups today in my Mr. Coffee machine. I have a Verissimo from Starbucks, but it's like I save that for, that's my special get my heart going in the morning coffee. This is work coffee. Oh, my own special blend too. I'm such a potion witch. Now we're going to ask the angels. The Healing with the Angels Oracle by Doreen Virtue. 1 card each. 1 for the Divine Feminine, 1 for the Divine Masculine. Since this is all about you healing yourself, what are the healing angels that are at your side, right? It's called the Healing with the Angels Oracle. Well, what is the healing that the angels are offering you? Now, how you work with angels, up to you. Celestial beings, in my experience and opinion, although the higher self appears to me in angelic form rather often. It's a whole long story. Go check out my Vimeo page. I got workshops on that shit up there. The angel is higher self. The angel is higher self. Of course it looks that way. It's 5th dimensional and above. So let's ask them what's going on. What are the healing angels with you? Nice deep breath. Notice I exhale first to make room. Inhale. Still point. My angels, please. 2 cards, 1 for the Divine Feminine, Visionary Archetype, 1 for the Divine Masculine, Exorcist Archetype. Please, what are the angels that are with them? What healing are the angels offering them? This healing with the angels Oracle, please. 1 for the Divine Feminine, Cancerian, right? This is the Cancerian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Twin Flame Contract, January 2020. What's the angel for the Divine Feminine Visionary? What's the angel for the Divine Masculine Exorcist? Let's look. Balance. Keep your balance. Visionary. You might be seeing things, right? You might be having visions. You might see what nobody else is seeing, but just be very, very careful about how you express it, right? Particularly if you are the Cancerian in this read, that intuitive stuff and emotional stuff can feel so close, but there's a difference between the two. If you think of as intuition as almost a physiological feeling, and then you can have emotion about that feeling, might help you sift through that. But if it really comes down to being deceived, and you've got a feeling you've been being deceived all along, it's very easy for a Cancerian to go ballistic. You all build up, build up, build up, build up. Did I mention I was raised by a Cancerian? And then it's like fucking tsunami out of nowhere, right? That's why y'all are considered moody, but I get it. You're cardinal water, right? Creative water, so it builds and builds and builds and builds and builds. Creative water like amniotic fluid, very creative, and you got a creative family archetype here with the visionary. So just make sure that the angel of balance, that you're really balancing your conduct, what you say and what you do, with your highest truth, with your highest vision, with your highest virtue, because the Exorcist has truth and integrity, which I think speaks a little on the nose to the fucking deception card. Wouldn't you agree, right? So keeping in mind this Exorcist, fear of facing your own demons, perhaps fear of facing his own guilt if this is the one doing the deceiving. Not saying that he is, not coming right out and saying the deception's all coming from one side. Because oftentimes our intuition tells us we are being lied to, but then we don't want to look at it, so we deceive ourselves, right? We don't want to believe it. Just did this last year with the Twin Flame Contract, 20-year-old Twin Flame Contract, on and off, on and off, on and off, coming around like a fucking razor blade boomerang, right? Hard to catch, hard to let go of, but I managed. A lot of deception, but I realized Oh, farm boy, bless your heart wherever you are. But I was raised with psychological parlance. He wasn't. He's from the Midwest, right? Raised on a fucking farm. Bless his heart. I fall for the Clark Kent thing every damn time. But I would like an actual Superman. If I can find a Clark Kent that can actually fly, that would be a bonus, right? So I get that thing of that guilt and that shame of having to deceive an inner demon. You could say he's possessed if this is the one doing the deception, but freeing yourself and others of destructive impulses, like trying to control and manipulate someone because you feel out of control and or manipulated. And do keep in mind that people only do to us what was done to them. That you're the next link in the chain for them, but will you pass on the chain of pain to another? Or will you return the favor? Or will you somehow find that joy in yourself and go, all right, now I'm out. Now I'm out. That's all I needed. But let's see what happens. I never tell people what to do in readings. It's not necessary. People will know. When you have clarity, it's like GPS. You get to choose. Free will, free will, free will. Like, I'm going to take a sip. Thank God for good coffee. Speaking of the gods, we're going to do 3 cards past, present, future for the Divine Feminine with the Daughters of the Moon Tarot. And we're going to do 3 cards past, present, and future for the Divine Masculine with the Mythic Tarot. Just to give you a little timeline here, we'll see what's what, all right? This deck will be the voice of the goddess, the divine feminine energy in total, meaning not just this visionary archetype, but half of the universal energy. The voice of that, the voice of her, capital H. Nice deep breath. Still point. My goddesses, please. 3 cards. Past, present, future, simple timeline. For this Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Divine Feminine, visionary archetype. In this twin flame contract for February 2020. Of course, if they're watching this in January, that makes sense. January, February 2020, or timeless, whenever they are supposed to watch it. Please, great goddess, where has this divine feminine been in this twin flame contract, the past? Where is she now in this twin flame contract, the present? Where is she headed in this twin flame contract, the future? There we go. We're going to do the Divine Masculine now with the same idea, but with the God energy. The Divine Masculine for the Divine Masculine, then I'll read them right across. Cool, cool. Please, deep breath. Still point. Oh. My gods, please. 3 cards, past, present, future for this Divine Masculine Exorcist archetype. Granted, a Divine Family archetype, please. In this Cancerian collective. Hey. Whoa, don't want to shuffle. This Cancerian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, twin flame contract for January 2020, February 2020, and timeless. Please, 3 cards, past, present, future. Basic, simple timeline for this Divine Masculine Exorcist. Where has he been in this contract? The past. Where is he now in this contract? The present. And where is he headed in this contract? The future. Yeah, those cards did not want to shuffle, so I'm going to leave that be. We'll see what the cards are when we get there. Let's look at the Divine Feminine. Where has she been? 10 of Blades. Now, we're used to seeing 10 of Blades, perhaps in the Rider-Waite deck, right? Face down in the mud, in the puddle, with 10 swords in the back. Betrayal, betrayal, betrayal. That may be true, because who hasn't been betrayed? But in this contract, in this deck, this is the ceremony of the rattle. It's the passing of the talking stick. It's about resolution. It's about all the pieces of the puzzle coming on the table. If everybody is speaking honestly, all of the data usually relevant to resolution comes on the table, hence the 10 of Blades, of Swords, the completion of the cycle of air. And, you know, even in the Rider-Waite, the sun's coming up, coming through the clouds in the distance. So the 10 starts again as the 1. That's why I was never really thrilled with that card. Because what can start off as the Ace of Blades, as such a clear thought, is supposed to run its full cycle. It doesn't always end in betrayal. That's why I think, you know, every reader has to find their definition, but find one that feels right, right? This feels like in the past, she's been through this before at the Divine Feminine, right? That in terms of completing the cycle of air, that she's pretty clear, you know, and hence that card of balance. Like, this might not be anything other than a balanced mental, emotional field, being able to see the larger picture, put the pieces of the puzzle together. One would hope in a happy, healthy, balanced way. Happy. No one likes being deceived. Where is she now? Another air card, the 6 of Blades, manipulation. Now, that we take that word and immediately run it through the shadow lens, right? But really, the 6 of Blades is about mental manipulation, usually in terms of, if not meditation, therapy, communication, right? The spinning of things, looking at it differently. This card has no reverse, okay? It's a spinning movement of double-sided axes, right? Like almost like a boat propeller, right? Spinning and spinning and spinning. So this is about seeing things differently, turning it in the mind, which is definitely a visionary quality, like sort of like doing it this way, doing it that way. If you look at the 6 of Swords, in this deck it's called Blades. In the Rider-Waite Tarot, it's the gondola, right? The dude on the boat, the man and the woman and the child, going from choppy water on one side to smooth on the other. So there is something about counseling here, about speaking, about getting it clear, about looking at the thoughts and interpreting it, manipulating the thoughts. Because if we really go there, manipulation is an absolute neutral word. You have a headache, you take an aspirin, you manipulated yourself, right? The fires in Australia, I prayed, I meditated, all of that stuff. It's essentially manipulation. But so is burning down the house, right? So is lying to someone, so is manipulating. So something interesting here about this card of deception. Now I can hear the garbage truck in the distance, so I'm going to magic clap us in a second. But just to complete this one, the 5 of Flames, we've got the volcano, ba, boom, Pele, the volcano. Never been to Hawaii, plan to go in this life at some point, but you know I ain't taking no rocks from Pele. No, volcano got us. So where she's headed here is an explosion of something that's been boiling like lava underneath for a long time. Hold on one second, garbage truck is here, don't need you to hear it. A very interrupty Monday, I'm gonna say, but you don't need to hear the backup because it's distracting and annoying for me too. So very interesting for this Divine Feminine here, right? We've got the 10 of Blades, the rattle, right? Getting all the pieces of the puzzle on the table where she's been. Manipulation, perhaps even really looking at all the information. Well, is it? Is it not? Is it not? You know, is it this? Is it that? Is it this? Is it that? Does feel like she's the one being deceived, although she could be the one manipulating information. But that things are going to go boom, whether that's from inside of her or outside of her. It feels like repressed fire energy, the desire to know, and particularly the truth, comes boiling, right? Usually this is a sexual creativity card, and it can be still here. But with that card of balance, be careful if you are the Divine Feminine with your anger, with your rage, with your revenge. Those are valid emotions to have, but don't let the child, the angry, furious, betrayed child drive the show. We can be possessed by our pain to such a way emotionally that we might as well be, what? Possessed by a demon. Let's jump over to the Exorcist here, since he has a fear of facing his own demons. Who the fuck doesn't, though? Some compassion there. Where has he been? The Lover's card, a decision. Now, people immediately want to make this a romantic thing. And by the way, nothing here screams romance at me, not even the Lover's card. Because the Lover's card is about a life-changing decision. Here, this is the Judging of Paris. Long story short, these 3 goddesses, Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite, are vying for a golden apple of immortality that has written on it, to the most beautiful goddess. Well, since none of the gods want any piece of that judgment action, Zeus calls up Paris, the fairest man on earth, to decide which goddess gets it. Each goddess promises him something different. Ready for a life-changing decision? Hera offers him power. Power over all things in the world, right? Like political power, rulership, a king, an emperor. Athena offers him wisdom, which, why do you need all that when you know every answer to everything? Instant wisdom and information for everything, right? Knowing it all. Big ol' know-it-all. Aphrodite offers him the most beautiful woman in the world is his true love. Well, he picks Aphrodite, and the most beautiful woman in the world is his true love is Helen of Troy. Hence begins the Trojan War. Over an apple, right? So sometimes the tiniest little decisions aren't tiny at all. There are choices and decisions, right? Choices have consequences. Decisions are life-changing. So some major life decision here. This is the first and only major arcana card that's shown up so far, 4 out of 6. So there is some kind of life change place this Exorcist Divine Masculine is coming from. In this contract, where is he now? And we've got the second major arcana card, and it's the card of the devil. Now, definitely a card of deception, but in this card in particular, this is Pan, the wild god. Oh, did you watch Sabrina's third season? Holy crap, just finished watching it last night. The great god Pan, they're going after the pagans. I howled with laughter, being a pagan. I love that they had Circe on there. She's one of my goddesses. This, obviously, the card of the devil. Unhealthy attachments, right? The shadow side. This dude is looking more and more and more and more like the deceiver, and I don't want to just call that out that way. But, see, this is how you got to know divination works. Fear of facing your own inner demons, and there's the inner demon. So he's facing it right now in terms of this spread in the present time, like where he is right now. The chains of pain, right? The chains of addiction, codependency, the wounds of abuse, the wounds of neglect, all sort of percolating there. Sounds like a fucking nightmare. We all have to deal with it sooner or later. Where is he headed then in this one? King of Cups, the Cancerian card. Very interesting. Now, here, before I mean, because I could talk about court cards forever, the King of Cups is definitely the Cancerian card. It's cardinal water, as I said earlier in this reading. The thing to remember here, though, is that this need not be a romantic relationship. Even with that card of the Lovers there, no, it feels like he made a decision to be a part of all of this, right? Like a life-changing decision brought these two together. Although they could be family members too. Again, trying to guess the form of it isn't really helpful because who's reading it is going to have to figure out if this fits for them. But with that truth and integrity with the devil there, and moving into the King of Cups, this could be our Cancerian, where he becomes more emotionally honest, or that means he's going to be confronting and dealing with this divine feminine visionary if she's the Cancerian. If they're both Cancerians, talk about a twin flamer, it does happen. Then the healing that happens here has to come with emotional honesty, truth, and integrity. But we're not done. We've got 3 more cards. No, 2 more cards to hit the table. One from the Voices of the Higher Selves, right? So the higher selves of all involved. From the Whispers of Love Oracle. And I gotta say, this needs to be clarifying in some way. Because with deception on the table, seeing truth and integrity, the devil, with the Exorcist, seeing that explosion of the 5 of Flames, Pele the volcano, we need some clarity here big time so that whoever is being deceived here, or perhaps both are, perhaps they're both deceiving each other, I'm not really feeling that, but let the higher selves speak here. Please, nice deep breath, my Cancerians. Still point. The higher selves of all involved. Please, one card. in total for this Cancerian collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, twin flame contract for January, February 2020, though timeless. What's going on here? The higher selves of all involved. Please communicate to whoever is watching this video in this twin flame contract. What's going on? Some clarity, please. A whisper of love. Like attracts like. If you are longing for more love in your life, you need to be more loving. Now, this is the rub with a twin flame contract. There might be all sorts of deceptions going on here in terms of what you want from the relationship. Like you can say, oh no, I've had this happen. Oh no, I'm not looking for anything serious. Let's just hang out, friends with benefits. And then a week later, how come you didn't call me, right? Happens, right? I've played both sides of that too. We all fall prey to that. So like attracts like. If you want more love, deception's not your way through. Right? To lie. But I like him, and if I tell him the truth, he'll run away. It's like, then let him run away. I know, it's hard as fuck to do. But nonetheless, that there's a joy here. There's something about your own personal joy, regardless of which side of this you are playing. Like attracts like. If you are longing for more love in your life, you need to be more loving. And by the way, a twin flame contract doesn't mean you can't love each other. It just means you can't get, oh, my father loved me very much. I loved my father very much, but it was turbulent. It was never really, I mean, we had moments of peaceful stuff here and there, but they're not like that. It's like the heat is always going to be cranked up. There's always going to be another challenge in a twin flame contract to transform you. If you like, the relationship is the crucible in the furnace that holds you in place while the fires burn you alive, right? Turning you from cookie dough to cookie. It's worth being the cookie. The dough doesn't think so. Ask Matt KAHN. I love that metaphor, Matt, if you're ever watching this stuff. So like attracts like. Very, very interesting card there. But let's get our last one down, and I think this will be the more helpful because we're dealing with the Healing Mantra deck by Matt KAHN, since I just called him out by name. This deck, very powerful. My own healing process. I've had it for, has it been a month? Maybe a month. Came out in early to, no, I've had it for more than a month. Sure, December. We're in the end of January. The voices of the Ascended Masters are going to speak through this. Keep in mind, they're the ones that gave us the cards of deception and joy. So the healing mantras of this deck are to give you, whether you are the Divine Masculine or the Divine Feminine, a mantra to help you heal you. Will it help to heal the contract? Well, I'm going to tell you, the way that you fulfill your contract in terms of twin flames is just to survive them. You can't change them, so it doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter if they heal or not. I know that sounds cold, but that's the contract. You heal you. So regardless of who you are, this should be indicative somehow of the twin flame contract, and then we'll do your overview. Okay? Nice deep breath. This one's, well, they're all important, but let's really do this one proper. Exhale. Inhale. Still point. My masters, please, one card in clarity for this Cancerian collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, twin flame contract for January, February 2020, though timeless whenever they need to see it. Please, what is the healing mantra for this Divine Feminine Visionary and this Divine Masculine Exorcist, regardless of which one is watching it? What is the healing mantra that as they repeat it, the truth of their own soul will begin to expand within their awareness, that they will heal? What is the perfect healing mantra for this twin flame Cancerian contract? My masters. One side of the card has the name of the mantra so that I can look it up in the bookie and read it to you. It's a good little bookie. It's a good little booklet. Helpful. The other side is the mantra itself. So the mantra, uncovering confidence. Uncovering confidence, right? So there's something here about confidence, about having the confidence to speak the truth. Really could be either side. The confidence to face the devil, ya exorcist, ya. The mantra, I am the missing piece that completes the puzzle of the universe. I am the missing piece that completes the puzzle of the universe. Now, it's not saying I am the only piece of the puzzle of the universe. That's narcissism. But I am the missing piece, meaning the piece that doesn't want to show up, the piece that is perhaps hiding, right? Doesn't have the confidence, right? Uncovering confidence. It's being covered. I am the missing piece that completes the puzzle of the universe. Uncovering confidence. Uncovering confidence. Hold on, we're there. Uncovering confidence. Here we go. Nice deep breath. I am the missing piece that completes the puzzle of the universe. When confidence is uncovered, you are living from a space of renewed purpose. You know your place in the cosmos, and you are an expression of eternal light. Light is truth, just saying. There is no wavering on decisions or second-guessing your instincts. Confidence allows you the peace of mind to stand tall in your truth and to move forward courageously, knowing anything that comes your way can only inspire the gift of endless expansion. So it's that knowing that you are divine, right? Focus on the breath. You breathe your way through it, right? Be in the present moment. Know that you are the missing piece to the universe that completes the puzzle. You're essential. The gods created you that way. So no matter what's happening, it's here to help you. It's here to transform you as a soul. This mantra is ideal for resolving insecurities, easing personal concerns, and finding true safety in your body and the world. And I'm more than wondering, kind of sensing that that's the thing. There's an insecurity, a fear, perhaps of even being in the world. Well, let me tell them this because I'm afraid to be on my own. Now, again, that could be either side here. But with that card of balance and with that card of truth and integrity, both of them have the help from the angels, if you will, from that pantheon, from the celestial realm, to heal this. But let's do this in overview, okay? Nice deep breath. Magic clap. We start with the divine feminine visionary archetype in the shadow, selling insights to the highest bidder, compromising your vision to make it more acceptable, which is, now that I think about it, a form of deception. The light attribute, capacity to envision what is not yet conceivable to others. Willingness to proclaim a vision without regard for personal gain. And that would be a joyful thing. So they're kind of getting the vibe of the shadow and light, the deception and the joy there for her. Looking at her timeline, we've got the Ten of Blades, the battle of the rattle, sorry, R-A-T-T-L-E, the passing of the talking stick. So some sort of communication based, even if it's just listening to all of the different intuitive pieces of the puzzle within herself, mentally putting it together, coming to mental resolution, something about this twin flame contract, that it being in where she's been in this contract, where she is now. Six of Blades, the mental manipulation. Is that being manipulated or is that being manipulative? Can't tell from this alone, because it could play itself out both ways in this Cancerian collective. But getting it might also be the taking of the information that was put together and spinning it in the mind, looking at it different ways, which is definitely part of an analytical process, and perhaps for a visionary, a necessary part of the creative process, but that it leads her to the Five of Flames, which is definitely a card of explosion. It is volcanic, can be sexual creative energy, but then again, element of fire can also be repressed passion, showing as anger, as rage, as violence. Not necessarily emotional violence, but that element of fire, not water. But with the healing angel of balance there, like that's the key. Keep your balance, divine feminine, if you can. Pray, meditate, stretch, go for walks, talk to somebody, vent. A Six of Blades is absolutely a card of moving from turbulent water to calm water. Just keeping that in mind. Speak to somebody. Get the help that you need to handle this emotion so that it does not possess you, considering we are looking at the Exorcist here on the other side. The shadow attribute, fear of facing your own demons, light attribute, freeing yourself and others of destructive impulses. So if he can get that the deception here is a destructive thing, not just to the divine feminine, to himself. Again, it does feel like with that devil card there, he's got the lovers in the past, the decision was made, leading to the devil, definitely a card of deception, or at least chains of pain, chains of lies, chains of illusion, leading to the King of Cups there, some sort of emotional adulthood, right? Some sort of emotional maturity. And hopefully coming clean if he's the one doing the deception. But I think like attracts like the angel card here, because yes, he's got truth and integrity here as his angel, that it feels like he's gonna like get clear, either find the truth if he's the one being deceived, or speak the truth to regain his integrity if he's being the deceiver. But like attracts like, that card from the higher selves, both of their higher selves agreed on this card. If you're longing for more love in your life, you need to be more loving, and that needs to start with at least telling the truth, even if it sets each of them free from this contract, which is sort of what you want in a twin flame contract, keeping in mind that the healing mantra, uncovering confidence, I am the missing piece that completes the puzzle of the universe. I am the missing piece that completes the puzzle of the universe. Then so be it. Have the confidence to speak the truth, to acknowledge the deception, even if it's self-deception. Like, that's a whole other way to look at this, that perhaps both sides are deceiving themselves as to what this really is, but their joy is somehow available here within themselves and will be part of how they love and heal themselves in this twin flame contract. So there you have it, my Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. That was very intense spread, because it's a very, very intense emotional contract. I can feel that. So may the Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be blessed with all that they need in their twin flame contracts for January, February 2020, and timeless whenever they should need it, to learn, to heal, to grow, to find the joy at their core, to stay in balance, to embrace their truth and their integrity, to uncover their own confidence and get that like attracts like. If you want truth, you've got to be truthful. And may we all be more honest with loving, compassionate hearts, because truth without compassion is brutality. May we all learn to be honest and loving and speak our truths with open hearts for the well-being of all. And so it is. I really mean that blessing for all of us, but for you in particular, my Cancerian. So thank you so much for watching. Again, please like and subscribe. Not necessarily a fun read, but I got to tell you, that's the twin flames for you, and it's just funny how they play themselves out that way. So please do like and subscribe if you would. Wishing you the very best and the very blessed. Of course, if you would like a personal reading, my info is in the description box below as well. Reach out. I'll be glad to go deeper for you. Cool. Wishing you, again, the very best and the very blessed, but for now, hail, farewell, and blessed be.